Warning, censorship. Warning, censorship.
I suffered from panic attacks and hard times breathing, and it got overwhelmed that time. And I said, you know what? I keep that thing strapped on my face 24 hours a day if it meant getting these small shops opening and getting us open and helping these shops that are closing. And it's absolutely ridiculous that we're standing by and watching these shops close, and the big box are thriving, and people are boarding planes, and they're flying in and flying out, and it's heartbreaking. It's absolutely heartbreaking.
It's David Menzies for Rebel News here in Bolton, Ontario. And folks, I'm back at Nobletoyz, and I'm with Derrick Noble, the owner of Nobletoyz. And this is a rebellious toy shop owner. You might recall our previous stories where Derrick, well, he decided enough is enough. He was going to open up, especially with the busy Christmas season coming up. And, well, I got to tell you, folks, it was smooth sailing at first, but since then he's received tickets from bylaw, from the police, from the Ministry of Labor, and you won't believe the latest entity that's decided to bully this toy store operator. Just will you hear Derrick's story right now. Okay, Derrick, as I mentioned, we've been here a couple of times. We've been reporting on your progress. Things were going well. I mentioned the police, bylaw, the Ministry of Labor giving you tickets. But then, lo and behold, on December 19th, you received a hand-delivered letter from whom?
From the Crown themselves.
That's right. It was the Attorney General's office.
Yeah, we got that. It threw me for a loop. First I thought it was someone playing a joke, because the other two stores that we helped get open within a couple of weeks of us opening received similar letters, and we thought it didn't seem professional at all. The envelope was upside down. It was hand printed. It looked almost photocopied. So I'm like, either someone's playing a really bad joke or something weird is going on. So I actually took it upon myself to call the lawyer on the paper, and he said, no, this is legit. We had someone who is practicing a bit of law, and they deciphered it to us. And what I was told is that they're basically threatening me with jail time. They're threatening with either closing down the store, like taking possession of the store. And they were also threatening anybody who works with me personally. So if I have someone helping me at the store, or worker, etc., that they could be liable.
This is incredible. And, Derrick, I think I'm just going to read out the actual nitty-gritty letter to show that you're not exaggerating this threat of being thrown in jail for selling toys. Yeah. So the letter is from Sean Kearney. He is with the Ministry of the Attorney General, and it reads as follows. We are counsel to the Her Majesty the Queen in Right of Ontario. The opening of your business, Nobletoyz, for in-store shopping is in contravention of Regulation 82/20, and then it goes on with all the legalese regulations, folks. The regulation is an aspect of the framework developed by the province in response to the COVID-19 pandemic and requires that businesses located in Stage 1, gray level lockdown, that engage in retail sales may be open only for curbside pickup and delivery. Nobletoyz has been operating in contravention of these requirements. This letter is to provide notice that you are to cease and desist opening Nobletoyz to in-store shopping with immediate effect. Should you continue to open your business to in-store shopping, we will immediately exercise available legal remedies, specifically an application under Section 9 of the Act for an order from the Supreme Court of Justice restraining Nobletoyz and anyone acting on behalf of Nobletoyz from contravening Ontario Regulation 82/20. The Act permits an application to be made without further notice to you. Should a Section 9 order be obtained, you or any other person who knows of the order and does anything which helps or permits Nobletoyz to breach it may be held in contempt of court. Please be aware that a finding of contempt may result in a term of imprisonment. I can be reached at, and Sean Kearney gives his phone number and email address. Derrick, I got to ask you, you've got some surreal toys on the wall here. Are we living in the Twilight Zone? We have somebody from the Attorney General's office saying they might throw you in jail if you continue to sell toys?
Well, this is the thing. And while all this is happening, people are boarding planes left and right. You got, 60, 70, 80 people in close proximity. If we're going through a pandemic, I don't think flying out or flying in should be an answer. I don't think having Walmart and Costco selling non-essentials should be an answer. Why should they be able to sell and us small shops not be able to sell it? We brought this point up numerous times. So yeah, like this is absolutely ridiculous. And because of this, I'm awaiting the so we did scale back a bit. Obviously, if anybody follows my personal Instagram or Facebook, Nobletoyz with a Z, we've told the story. I did a video on there, and the reason that I kind of took it back, we talked to some lawyers and such, and the reason we kind of took a back seat to it is because I want to spend Christmas with my children. I have 2 lovely daughters. I want to spend Christmas with them and not in jail.
And when you say scale it back, you are now operating legally via curbside pickup, correct?
Yeah, we scale back to curbside. It gives us a good chance and to clean the store, to organize, to work on some consigners, and to give us a little bit of a break. But I think I told you this before the interview. Whether the announcement says we can open or can't open, we're reopening the day after the announcement regardless. Unless Costco and Walmart and places like that cannot sell their non-essentials. If they can sell their non-essentials, I'm opening the doors again.
Well, I'll believe it when I see it, when there's any restrictions on Costco and Walmart, that you, unlike them, don't have the money to pay high-priced lobbyists to, lobby the provincial government in order to remain open. But, it's funny, Derrick, you did say, you did wonder why they're coming after you, and yet we've seen all over the country elected officials telling us to stay home, and then in contravention of their own regulations, taking off to vacations in the Caribbean and Hawaii. And that was one of the questions I want to ask Mr. Kearney of the Attorney General's office. I did reach out a call to him. Let's play it right now, because funny, he's kind of bold when he sends out a letter to you threatening he's going to throw you in jail. But when I spoke to him, he was a little tongue-tied. Take a listen.
Yep. Oh, yes. Hi. Is this Mr. Sean Kearney?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Hi, Mr. Kearney. It's David Menzies speaking. I'm with Rebel News in Toronto, and I'm just calling about the letter you sent to Derrick Noble of Nobletoyz. And I'm working on a story about that, and it just struck me as somewhat unusual that somebody with the Attorney General's office would be writing to a small shopkeeper threatening imprisonment if he continues to open his store. And I'm just wondering what led to this extraordinary step.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I can't comment, and I would ask that and direct you to Ministry of Attorney General Communications. If you had any questions, they could answer them.
Oh, okay, because I thought you were the person on this file. I was passed along the letter, and it had your number.
I'm the legal director for the Crown Law Office Civil. But again, if you have any specific questions about a litigation file, you'd have to direct them to the MAG's Communications branch.
Do you have a name and number for me then, sir?
If you flip me an email, I can send you the information that way. My email should be on the letter.
Indeed. Okay, then. So you can't talk about that, about this matter, even though it is indeed your signature on the letter.
Yeah, no, it's a matter in front of the court, so I'm not allowed to speak about it.
Okay. Is it actually a matter that you can't speak about it, or you won't speak about it?
Both. I'm not at liberty to speak about it. But if you flip me an email, I can flip you the contact information for communications.
So there you have it. He had nothing to say. He's not such a bully when he's speaking on the record to the press. He put the request over to the communications branch. I'm still waiting to hear an answer from them. Derrick, I am just astonished that this double standard exists. And again, it goes back to our original premise. we go to a Walmart, we go to a Costco, especially before Christmas, we go to their toy sections, jammed to the gills. Your little 3,000 square foot store here, you can enforce social distancing. You can sanitize it in a very professional manner. I would make the argument that a small mom and pop store can handle this pandemic better than a huge big box store. So why are they open and you're not, and being threatened with jail time if you have the temerity to open again?
If anybody can answer that question, I will take you to dinner. And
where? They're all locked down too, Derrick.
That's right. Yeah, I was going to offer the keg too because I love the keg. But yeah, if anybody can answer that question, please tell me. The response, I'm still getting daily calls and messages and emails, and I love it. I love the fact that people are all in same tune here, and we got to fight back. And I've said this before, we have to, and that's why I'm announcing early, no matter what with the exceptions I gave you. We are opening again. Like we have to. We can't be bullied. We have to stand up. This is how we pay ourselves. January, February are a lot slower. It doesn't matter if you're in retail. So we got to hustle a little bit more. But being closed curbside like this, we're not doing. We're doing half the sales we could be doing, right? So.
Well, Derrick, the other reason for my visit here is to tell our viewers that, unlike before, we extended the offer to represent you legally, crowdfund the legal fees. You respectfully turned down that offer because, well, I guess you didn't want to be a burden to anyone in your fight. But you realize that now that you're taking on everyone from police and bylaw enforcement to the Ministry of Labor and now the Attorney General as well, this is too much of a fight. And so I'm going to, we talked off camera, we're going to take you on as our latest I Will Open client. We have secured a criminal lawyer for you. We are going to crowdfund your fees. We are not going to let you fight this alone. I'm glad you're not going to do any more homemade lawyering on this file. So what do you think about that?
I think it's amazing. My whole purpose of doing this was to show the little guy how tough we are. And that's why I think even off camera, I think I turned you down maybe 6 or 7 times. And it was with the utmost respect. I think it's got a little over my head, and I do need a little bit of help, especially this time of year. So I mean, I just want to thank Rebel News, and I want to thank everybody who's supported us and send us the messages, and it's been very emotional. I'm actually getting a little emotional now. I'm trying not to, but I've never felt so much love. On the other side of the tape, I've lost people we thought were friends, and we lost some customers, which really sucks. You don't want to lose any customers. You want to do your best for them. But I believe so strongly in this cause, and I'm fighting every day, whether you see us do a video or do a post or anything. Every day I'm preaching to someone. I'm spending hours of my days talking to people on the phone. I can't get to everybody. I still have messages from the original part 1 of the, I guess this would be part 3 of our meetings, that I haven't even got to. So I just want to thank Rebel News, and I want to thank everybody out there, a lot. Well, bottom of my heart.
well, Derrick, I'm so happy you've accepted our offer. We don't think this is a fair fight. This is 4 government entities versus 1 mom and pop shopkeeper, and we're going to have a top-notch criminal lawyer fight for you on your behalf. I wish you all the best going ahead in 2021. Any last words in terms of your struggle to simply open your doors and try to make a living for yourself?
Yeah, I think it basically comes down to that. Christmas was great. I'm not going to lie. Even though that we did get scaled back to curbside, we were able to pay some bills and keep things floating. I get people to help me here. I got to pay them. The rent in Bolton is pretty astronomical. And at the same time, I was going through a lot of stuff, even some personal issues. And I hope it's okay if I divulge this now. When I did my opening and we preached about the protocol with COVID, a lot of people don't know this about me, and I'll explain it to you that I actually do have a lot of anxiety and such. Wearing a mask does cause me panic attacks, and I know I don't have to indulge this, but I find I'd rather indulge it and tell people that how strongly I believed in this, that I kept that mask on my face, and and it was not good. I suffered from panic attacks and hard times breathing, and it got overwhelmed that time. And I said, you know what? I keep that thing strapped on my face 24 hours a day if it meant getting these small shops opening and getting us open and helping these shops that are closing. And it's absolutely ridiculous that we're standing by and watching these shops close, and the big box are thriving, and people are boarding planes and they're flying in and flying out, and it's heartbreaking. It's absolutely heartbreaking.
It's heartbreaking, and the double standard we've seen espoused by our elected officials and bureaucrats is deplorable and disgusting. But like I said, Derrick, you are no longer fighting this battle alone. We have a legal eagle that's going to be in charge of this file. You don't have to worry about going to court or anything. You can just stay here selling your toys. And once again, I wish you all the best moving forward in this new year.
Thank you. And I know I said it a dozen times. I just want to thank everybody again out there, because this is truly a once-in-a-lifetime experience. And it's something I don't know how I got in this position, but I'm glad I did. Something drew me to this position, and I won't stop fighting every single day of my life for this and until we win.
Hey, folks, are you sick and tired of seeing the state going after small mom-and-pop operators like Derrick Noble? Well, if so, please go to iwillopen.com if you're able to make a donation so that we can put it towards Mr. Noble's legal fees. That would be greatly appreciated. Thank you.